how can you solve problems around you? How can you create something that brings value to someone? How can you talk to someone in a way that brings them value, that brings them joy? Yield to God. Help me to yield to your will to create what you created me to create. Welcome back to Mission Mode with Madeline Mack. I'm Madeline Mack, and this is Mission Mode, a podcast where I discuss things that I'm learning in my life, and I like to watch a lot of podcasts, read a lot of books, read the Bible, and then I share with you guys what I'm learning and what I'm doing in my life to better myself and to forward myself on my mission, because we are all created and we're all here and we all have a mission to accomplish in our life. So it's also a never-ending one until we die. Anyways, sorry, I'm really out of breath. I've been filming reels for the past 3.5 hours to get a whole bunch done so I don't have to think about it the rest of the week, because I'm trying out a new schedule where I do one ideation day, and then a filming day, and then the other days are editing, and the other days I work on my new business thing that I'm working on that I can't talk about yet. My girls in the school community know. We're in on the secret. But anyways, I wanted to talk about a thing that I actually filmed in a reel. What was that? I'm home alone, so any noise I hear, I'm like, there is a ghost. It's okay. In the name of Jesus, get out of here, my guy. Okay, we should be good. So first word in the Bible is in. That has nothing to do with it. I just thought, yeah. So I've been listening to Myron Golden for a long time, and he said something one time that has really stuck out to me, and I think about it quite often, which is the first thing that God told us about God. God did not tell us that he was merciful first. He didn't tell us that he was loving. He didn't tell us that he was faithful. He didn't tell us that he was holy. He didn't tell us that he was the most powerful being ever. He didn't tell us that he was mighty. He didn't tell us that he was I am and everything in every single molecule. He didn't tell us any of that. The first thing that God told us about God was that he created. He is creative. God told us, the first thing God told us in the first sentence of the Bible is that he created. And God knew that most people who hear about a Bible or see a Bible or read a Bible or pick up a Bible are probably going to turn to the first page and read the first line and then close it. So with that in mind, God was like, you know what? I should probably make that first sentence a real big deal. And the first thing he chose to tell us about him was that he created. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. I thought it was the heavens and the earth. I think it is the heavens. I don't know. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That is a King James version that I'm reading from. And I've been talking a lot and thinking a lot about purpose in life. And thinking about whenever I feel the most fulfilled. Because a lot of the time, I can be so in my own head. So I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure this out. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I'm going to do this. I'm trying to will something to happen, and it's just not working out. And in those times of just trying to will something to happen, I realize this happens frequently, and I will do it again. When I get in those moods, I'm trying to do something for me. I'm being very selfish in those times, and I'm focusing so much on me, on how I can do something that I forget, first of all, that God created me for his will and his purpose, and I cannot make something happen. I cannot figure anything out. God has it already figured out, and all I can do is yield to him. So, going to the creative part, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Later, in Genesis, this is first, Genesis 27, Genesis 1:27 So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And I've talked about this before on past podcasts. But man, as in mankind, as in men and women, God created us in his image. God is creative. That's the first thing he told us about God, about himself, that he's creative. So that means that God created creators, us, to be creative, to create. And when I feel the most unfulfilled, it's when I'm focusing too much on myself, focusing too much on how can I make it happen? How can I will this to happen? How can I figure it out? And I'm being selfish, trying to only make myself feel better, and I'm forgetting that I'm supposed to be creating something to help someone else. When I feel the most fulfilled is when I have created something that has brought someone joy. When I post a reel and I get, I don't know, if a reel like blows up and gets thousands of people saying, oh my gosh, I laughed so hard. Oh my gosh, this made me so happy. Oh my gosh, I just did this with my daughters. This was really fun. Like the challenge videos. People send me videos of them doing that, like doing the challenge with their family. And they're laughing and giggling and like excited when they can do it. And they're proud of themselves. And it's like, okay, I created something that I then contributed, what's the word I'm thinking of? I shared it. I shared something I created. And by me sharing what I created, I helped other people. And I created more joy in other people's lives. And I created more value in other people's lives. That is when I feel the most fulfilled. Now, that is not like, that is kind of vague. If you're wondering like, okay, what is the purpose of why I am here? Like, why are we here? And I think about that a lot. I think, what am I supposed to be doing? Why was I created? Well, we were created to create. And I think about that all the time because I think about what the heck am I doing with my life all the time? And in the times that I get so caught up in that and feel so awful, like, dang it, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like I'm trying all these different things. I don't know if this is going to work out. I have no idea what I'm doing. It feels so painful. I feel so insecure. I feel so unconfident. I feel so unstable at times. And what brings me calmness in those moments is thinking, you know what? I was created in God's image. The first thing God told us about God was that he was creative. Therefore, God created me to create. As long as I create something, whether that be drawing a picture in my sketchbook, painting a painting, writing a little blurb, giving someone some value in a conversation, posting something on the interwebs, editing a YouTube video, creating muscles in my body, working out, sharing value. As long as I share some value to the world, I mean, that could even be putting on a cute outfit, making a cute outfit, wearing it out and about, and someone seeing you being inspired by your cute outfit and thinking, you know what, I'm going to go dress up when I get home, or I'm going to dress up tomorrow and look cute because she inspired me to feel better and to look cute. Your example of creating something, everyone creates in so many different ways. You create solutions to problems. If you create solutions to problems, you are a creator. Humans all create. And it's when we are, for personally, when I am my most unfulfilled and most sad, and I mean, honestly, I've been kind of depressed before. Like, it's when I was sitting under fluorescent lights in my high school for 7 hours a day, being forced to memorize someone else's something that they learned, being forced to drill that into my own head. I'm not creating there. That's one of the reasons I hated school. I did well in school. I graduated 4th in my class, and I respected my teachers, and I wanted to show them that respect by being a good student. And because I didn't want to just, I didn't like school. I hated school. I really didn't like school. I really don't like school. But I knew that it would be very disrespectful of me to not give my full effort in everything that I do. If I'm going to do something, okay, I got to do this. I have to go to school. I'm going to do my best. So I did. And I mean, there were times that I probably could have tried way harder, but I was working on a YouTube video or something. But I mean, I always got my work done. I always studied the appropriate amount so I could feel good before a test. Like, I never like procrastinated in high school and stuff. It's just, I respected my teachers. But that's a little bit off the subject. What I'm meaning is just like, my favorite classes were darkroom photography. My writing classes, absolutely loved. I really loved history class. I think that's really important to know our history, what actually happened, so that we don't repeat history, which a lot of people don't understand that and don't really know history, which is why I think it's hilarious. Like, what the heck, guys? Pay attention in history class, and a lot of our problems that we are having right now, we wouldn't be having, because history has told us many times that a lot of these things don't work. Anyways, history repeats itself. I loved history. I loved writing. I loved my art classes. And I loved like my debate classes. I loved speech class. Dang. I loved my teacher who taught like public events or like daily event or whatever. Things about like state law and stuff like that. He was super fun. Mr. McCombs. Oh, I think I can say that. Mr. McCombs is so cool. I loved his class because he would ask us questions and we could put in our thoughts on things. So he was allowing us to be creative. And my flippin' rock and roll history teacher, she allowed us to be creative. There's so many. My favorite classes in high school were the ones that we were allowed to be creative, that we were allowed to create, that we were allowed to think for ourselves. My least favorite classes were like math and science, and which is also because I just have a tendency to have a more creative brain. But I mean, you have to be creative to be a scientist or a mathematician. Oh, and my phone is ding. Sorry about that. But I just am naturally more artsy. But it's not that I did bad in math. I just had to work at it a lot harder than my other classes because I had to memorize it. And I didn't like that I was just being told things to memorize because I wasn't created anything in those times. So mainly the majority of my school time was spent not being able to create in the way that I wanted to create. And another thing about school is like anytime anyone had a t-shirt that needed to be designed or a poster that needed to be drawn or a school flyer or whatever, I was the guy because I was like, oh, heck yeah, a creative thing. I can create a poster, a drawing, a picture, a write something. I can say a speech. I can give value in what I'm creating right now. That was when I was happiest in high school, is when I was creating. So thank you to all the teachers out there who let your students create and there's value in math class, okay? I'm not saying that math class is terrible. I'm just saying, like, I don't really understand, like, why I had to learn math class for, like, what I'm doing now. Like, I don't do math at all. I just do very basic, like, financial math. Like, I make sure that my checkbook lines up, you know what I mean? Like calculator math. It's like very simple. That's what I do. If you love math, okay, no hating or anything. I'm just actually like, I don't have a math brain. But my point with this whole spiel is I was happiest in high school when I was creating. I'm happiest now when I'm creating. I'm happiest now when I'm creating for other people too. And that's a big deal. If I'm creating something that has in mind me, if I'm like stressed, like, oh crap, I have to get, who's walking out there? There's someone walking outside my house. It's fine. If I'm creating like a reel, like sometimes I'm like really behind on my posting and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost 5 p.m. I have to post something today for me. I got to get this up for my Instagram. They tend to do the worst because I'm thinking about me and I'm thinking about, oh crap, I have to post for my schedule. Me. Instead of thinking, okay, how can I create something here that's going to bring value to people? It's going to actually help them in their lives. And I mean, you can scroll through my Instagram and see all my silly little things that I post that probably don't add very much value. Some things add more value than others. And I think in the times that my reels and stuff and my YouTube videos especially add value is when I'm thinking about the other person. How can I help this person that I'm talking to? How can I help them to become better in their life? And I mean, every single, like, I don't like when people call people who post on the internet frequently creators, which we are creators, but everyone's a creator. If you're unfulfilled, if you're lacking purpose in your life, look around, see what solutions you can create. how can you solve problems around you? How can you create something that brings value to someone? How can you talk to someone in a way that brings them value, that brings them joy? How can you present yourself in a way, create a makeup look, create a hairstyle, create an outfit that brings someone joy, that shows that you took the care and the time to take care of yourself, and then that might inspire them to do the same? How can you yield to God? Hey, dude, you created me, okay? You told us that you created us in your image. You are creative. Lord, help me. Help me to yield to your will to create what you want me to do. Help me to yield to your will to create what you created me to create. God, Lord, baby Jesus, help me to yield to you so that I know what you want me to create, that you created me to create. Like, that's what I think of a lot, which really helps me. I think of that before I sit down for any ideation time. I do that before I edit any video. I do that before, and when I don't, it tends to go, I can't think as well. I can't come up with as good of ideas. I mean, we're all here. I mean, listen to my second podcast. I go on a whole tangent about why we're here, but it's just like, we're here to serve God, and he created us to create and to appreciate his creation. So that's what we should do. We need to appreciate his creation, be grateful for what we have, and work every single day to create something for him and create something for other people and to serve other people. The greatest servant of all, I mean, the greatest person of all, the greatest master, the highest master is the servant of all. That is Mark chapter 10. Let me flip to it. I just read it this morning. Let's see here. So this is Mark chapter 10, verse 42. So before this, the disciples were like, hey, yo, who is the greatest? Oh, wait, that's not the right one. Hold on. Oh, wait, it is the right. They're like, hey, who's the greatest servant of all? Like, who's going to be at the right hand of God? Like, who's going to do that? And Jesus said in verse 42, but Jesus called them to him, and saith unto them, ye know that they which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and their great ones exercise authority upon them. But so shall it not be among you. But whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister, and whosoever of you will be the chiefest shall be servant of all. Basically, he's talking to like the people who are ruling over the Gentiles. They, that they which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them. So they're like, the landlord is telling the person renting the place, like, you do this and you serve me and you pay me the money. Where. But Jesus says, it shall not be among you, but whosoever will be great among you, the greatest among you, shall be your minister, the person who takes care of you. And whosoever of you will be the chiefest, I really can't say that, chiefest, like the highest chief, commander-in-chief, shall be servant of all. The commander-in-chief shall be servant of all. And you see that in Jesus' example. He is literally God serving people. He is the humblest servant. Even though he is the greatest thing ever, he is God. He is the humblest servant. And how did I get on this tangent? We are created to create. God created us to create. Yield yourself to God to know what you need to create, that he created you to create. And while you're creating, create to serve others and to humble yourself. And if you want to be a great creator, you have to be a great servant of all. I feel like this is kind of a wishy-washy podcast, but aren't they all? Sorry about that. I've gone on a lot of little tangents, but it's okay. I also want to talk to you about some very strange but godly coincidences that have happened lately to me. I have been reading a book called what's it called? A Long Obedience in the Same Direction. That's what I've been reading. It's an old book. It was written in 1980, I'm pretty sure. And it's basically going through some of the Psalms and describing what they mean. It's like a series of Psalms, like 120, I think, to like 130 something of the Psalms, and explaining each and every single one of them. And they all kind of have a different theme. Well, yesterday morning, I've been in Mark for the past couple of days. I was reading Mark chapter 10, verse 14 through 16. But when Jesus saw it, so I'm just going to read this whole thing. So verses 13 through 16, I'm going to read Mark chapter 10. So, and they brought young children unto him, that he should touch them. And his disciples rebuked those that brought them. So some people brought their children to Jesus, and the disciples rebuked those that brought them, like, get those kids out of here. We don't want those kiddies here. Get him out of there. But when Jesus saw it, he was much displeased, and said unto them, Suffer the little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of God. Verily I say unto you, whosoever shall not receive the kingdom of God as a little child, he shall not enter therein. And he took them up in his arms, and he took them up in his arms, put his hands upon them, and blessed them. So Jesus says, Verily I say unto you, whoever does not receive the kingdom of God like a little child, he shall not enter therein. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay, if I do not, so a child, okay, when I was a little baby girl, my daddy, he was everything, okay? He still is. Like, if I was terrified, if I was scared, I'd run to him. If I was hungry, I'd run to him. I knew he was the provider of the household. I knew he was taking care of me. I knew he protected mom. And if I was scared in public, if like anything, like I ran to my daddy. And like, I put my complete faith and trust entirely into my dad when I was little. It was very easy for me to do that because I was a little baby, and it's just a childlike faith that trusts in God like a little child. And like, you trust your mom and dad when you're a little baby, and you leave all your problems up to daddy. Like, that's just what happens. And I was thinking about that. I was like, wow, like I need to have childlike faith that God has everything under control. I need to trust in him like I trusted in dad when I was a little baby girl and I was scared of the monster in my closet. You yield to him, and every time I'm like feeling unfulfilled, or I'm feeling like, what the heck am I doing with my life? I think, okay, Lord, I have to trust in you with all my heart and lean not unto my own understanding. And the first thing God told me about God was that he created. So as long as I'm creating something today that's going to bring value to other people, and as long as I'm serving people, I'm probably good. And I just need to do that, do the work that I need to do, and everything will be fine. And it usually works out. Well, it doesn't usually. It always works out if you trust in God. And the times that it, quote, doesn't work out, it doesn't ever not work out. No circumstance is good or bad. There's just circumstances. There are, I guess, bad circumstances, but it's just like the story of the young boy that like he broke his foot and like couldn't go to the war when they were like drafting. Wait, he like broke his foot, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. He broke his foot. But then everyone had to go get drafted into the war, and then he didn't have to get drafted into the war. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's so good. He didn't get drafted into the war. And then like it keeps going on a spiral like that. And the old man's like, we'll see, because they kept saying, that's so bad, that's so good. But like every circumstance is neither good nor bad. But anyways, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. Oh no. Oh no. But every time I am not trusting in God, it feels like it's the most horrible thing that's going on. And I have to yield to him like a little baby child does to their dad, and know that, like I said, as long as you're creating value and sharing it with the world and helping other and being a servant of all, you're going to be just fine. Okay. And just trust in God to figure out all the rest. I'm going to keep rambling if I keep talking. How long have I been filming? Okay. About 30 minutes. I hope this helped you. I said a lot of random things in there, but mainly I just want you to let yourself be creative. If you feel unfulfilled, if you feel like you're lacking purpose, if you feel like you don't know what your why is, think about things that you're good at. What are you good at? What do you enjoy making? Do you enjoy making content? Do you enjoy writing? Do you enjoy talking? Do you enjoy, I don't know, doing movie analyzing? Do you enjoy math? Do you enjoy math? Whatever it is, can you create something from that? At work, if you work a 9 to 5, is there a problem that everyone in the office is dealing with that you might be able to make the solution to? You could create the solution to their problems. Maybe there's a gap in the fitness industry, and you're like, I see this hole in the space. I can figure something out to do that. Okay, then work weekends creating that. You will maybe like not want to work your 9 to 5 during the 5 days of the week, but that thought of like, I get to go home on Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday and work on this thing that I'm creating that's going to bring so much value to the world, that will give you that fulfillment. That will give you something to live for. And it won't be easy. Creating is not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. If creating was easy, then it wouldn't be fulfilling, because if everything was easy, if everything in life, if someone gave you a video game and you were already leveled all the way up, if you could defeat all of the villains just by looking at them, you wouldn't want to play that video game. It's not interesting. It's boring. It's too easy. Life is a game. When it's hard, that's good. That means you're not going to be bored to death. When you are trying to create a solution to a problem, you are creating, but it's not flippin' easy to create a solution to a problem. It is not easy to bring value to people. But that's the flippin' meaning of life, is to go through those hard times to create something amazing that's going to serve others. And that's really what I think is why we're here, is to create and to glorify God in all we do. Glorify God in all we do. Create because God is creative. Therefore, we must create to be creative and serve other people at the same time. Like that. That's it. I think about that a lot. That's kind of vague, but knowing that, starting there, and then just taking a little step a day. If you are feeling super unfulfilled, if you don't know what your purpose is at all, just take a little step towards that every single day. Keep that in the back of your head. What can I create? How can I help people? How can I serve people? And I promise you, if you pray about it, if you yield to God, He will show you the way. This is the way. I hope that helps. I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. It is Monday morning. Maybe you're not listening to this on Monday morning. I don't know, but I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great time in your life, even if it's hard, because you are being prepared for what God has prepared for you during this hard time. So keep going. Don't give up. And yeah, I hope that helped. Okay. Peace out. Bye, everyone.